Notice is hereby given that a meeting of the City Council Committee on Ordinances, Licenses, and Legal Affairs will be held on Thursday, December 8th, 2022 at 6:10 p.m. for the purpose of granting certain licenses and carrying matters forward. This meeting will be held in person at City Council Chambers, 93 Washington Street, second floor, and via remote participation in accordance with Chapter 107 of the Acts of 2022. In-person attendance and members of the public will be permitted, and the public may also participate, listen, and/or view this meeting while in progress via the remote participation platform Zoom through any one of the following ways. Click on the link posted in the agenda or via telephone 877-853-5257. Enter webinar ID 883-9063-9478. Password, if prompted, 450213. The subcommittee meetings are held to take action for the purpose of making recommendations to the full council. Every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. In the event that we are unable to do so on matters not requiring a public hearing, we will post on the City of Salem's website an audio or video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting. Thank you, Ola, for joining us this evening. Our two matters on the agenda are granting of certain licenses. We have a license request for secondhand valuables Eco ATM at 11 Traders Way and 450 Highland Ave in Salem, Mass. Any questions or motions for that item? Councillor Varela?
Thank you, Chair Riccardi. I move that we grant the license for secondhand valuables on 11 Traders Way and 450 Highland Avenue.
Councillor Varela moves that we recommend these licenses be granted, seconded by Councillor Presnewski. All those in favor? Matter passes 4-0. Thank you. Okay, so tonight's larger agenda item is the carrying matters forward. I hope everyone does everyone have a copy of the list? Okay. If there are any questions, but we can go through them one by one and see which ones we want to keep and which ones we want to move forward into the next year and which ones do not need to be moved forward to the next year. The first item we have is from 2021, a home rule petition for additional all alcohol liquor license for Jaho at 57 Loring Ave. So I did speak to the city solicitor on this one. Since this was originally submitted, additional licenses in the city have opened up. There were additional avenues that Jaho can go down. There have been lots of discussions on it. I did just reach out to her last week and see if it needed to be remained in committee, and she recommended that it can be discharged, and if Jaho needs, it can be resubmitted again. Is there any requests? Councillor Presnewski?
I move that the matter be discharged.
Councillor Presnewski moves to discharge, seconded by Councillor Cohen. All those in favor? Okay, moving on to the next one, number 494, the second passage of traffic ordinance, co-posted with Committee of the Whole. This was for Summit Street. I actually reached out to Councillor McLean, who just left the room, but, actually, sorry, I should have started the meeting to say that all members are present with Councillor Dominguez absent. I totally skipped over that matter. We also have in the room with us tonight, Councillor Merkel, Councillor McCarthy, Councillor Hapworth, and we did have Councillor McLean. So how about we pause on this one and we come back and see if he returns. If not, I will move to discharge, hopefully. The next item that we have is 562, Public Guide Amplifications, co-posted with the Whole. This was introduced by Councillor Presnewski in 2021.
Under discussion, I wish that this remain in committee. This is a cousin to the noise ordinance that we're going to be carrying over from public health, safety, and environment, and it's also an issue that's still prevalent during the October time. So I'm asking that this be carried over.
Sure. So I will just make a comment because I joined in the Haunted Happenings business kind of recap this morning that was hosted by Destination Salem, and there was Salem Main Streets. And Chief Miller joined in as well and actually provided some really great commentary, especially around this topic. And he said that he has been working on some language that obviously sound was a big conversation topic from this past season, and I'll leave it at that. We don't have a draft in front of us right now with OLA. It's definitely a continuing conversation point. I would recommend once we do have a draft, the item can come to OLA for review, but right now there's no draft in front of us. We're not actively drafting anything in front of us. There is the other topic in public health and safety around noise where that conversation can continue, but without an actual ordinance or language to review in OLA, I just don't think it's going to be able to go anywhere. And also knowing that Chief Miller is actively working with the assistant city solicitor that works with the police. So I just wanted to throw that out there, that there was that comment made today. Councillor Presnewski?
Thank you, Chair. The original draft was basically just a one-line sentence that stated that there would be no amplification in R1 residents unless it was done so under special permit. So I don't know what happened to that original language or why it wasn't submitted, but that was the original draft, as simple as that. So if it's easier to discharge it and then retake it up again under the noise, well, if it consolidates it, I'm fine with that, but I just don't want to see this die.
Yeah, so I will say that the city solicitor reviewed that and said that wouldn't really fly, that it's kind of a bigger can of worms that need to be opened up to review the whole ordinance. Again, like, it can stay in committee and continue to keep it there. But if it does, I would just recommend reaching out to the city solicitor to see if there's any actual language or if it's moving along for review, or what her thoughts are on the topic. Any other? So Councillor Presnewski made a motion to keep it in committee. Any other comments? Motions? We have to do something with this one.
I'll make it easy. I move that it be discharged.
Okay, Councillor Presnewski moves that it's discharged, seconded by Councillor Cohen. All those in favor? Okay, thank you. The second item is review two ordinances relative to city clerk compensation, co-posted with Committee of the Whole, number 565. This one we did have lots of conversations around, and I believe this might have been met in 2021. There was no meeting on this in 2022, though. Basically, there is ordinance language that talks about city clerk compensation. This was put in 3 committees. Can you confirm if this one is still in government services, the topic of the personnel board? Councillor Hopworth, sorry to put you on the spot there.
Yeah, Madam Chair, this is being carried forward for the matter of discuss with personnel boards.
Personnel boards, okay, thank you. So I will just note that discussing the matter of personnel board is being discussed in government services as well. Is there a motion? Councillor Varela?
Thank you, Chair Ricardo. I would like to see this matter discharged.
Councillor Varela moves to discharge. Seconded. Any second? Councillor Cohen seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor? Awesome. Thank you. The next matter we have is number 598, discuss home business ordinance, co-posted with Committee of the Whole. This was introduced in 2021 by Councillor Madore. We actually have a meeting scheduled on this next Monday, so hopefully we can move to keep this in committee. Councillor Varela?
Thank you, Chair Ricardo. I would like this to remain in committee.
Councillor Varela moves to keep it in committee, seconded by Councillor Cohen. All those in favor? Thank you. The next one from 2021 is 599, discuss an ordinance relative to bike safety, co-posted with Committee of the Whole. This was also introduced by Councillor Madore in November 2021. Councillor Cohen?
I move we discharge.
Councillor Cohen moves that we discharge, seconded by Councillor Varela. All those in favor? Thank you. I will note that the ordinance was sent to the Bike Committee and they are reviewing it along with Mr. Kurczewski. Councillor McLean, thank you for joining us. We had the matter from 2021 for Summit Street, and I just wanted to check with you to make sure if that would be okay to discharge from Ola.
Yes, at this juncture, I think it's okay to discharge. It's been in the committee for the entire year. I haven't been able to resolve the matter with the residents, so we can always bring it forward again if we need to.
Great, thank you. Councillor Varela?
Thank you, Chair Ricardo. I would like this matter to be discharged.
Councillor Varela moves to discharge, seconded by Councillor Presnewski. All those in favor? Awesome, thank you. Okay, moving on to the matters introduced in 2022. We have number 278. This was actually of 2021, but it went to the joint public hearing. It was the WIOD, so that was the Waterfront Industrial Overlay District. The timeline essentially ran out and it stayed in committee back in January. I will note that I asked the city clerk what the best process is for these zoning ordinances. If they do come out of committee, they would have to start the public hearing process again. which could either come from committee or come from a submission to council. So nothing will really be actively happening on this matter other than it's still there for discussion. But again, it can be reintroduced for discussion as well. Councillor Cohen?
Move to discharge.
Councillor Cohen moves to discharge, seconded by Councillor Varela. All those in favor? Matter carries. Okay, from 2022, we have 221, meet with taxi livery companies to discuss fares and other issues. So this one we did hold a meeting on, I think a few meetings. It was actually probably one of our first in-person meetings, and we had Julio come and help us as well with translation services, and we reported out at one, no, we had it twice, but we reported out one, and we did request a fare increase, which was changed within the ordinance. Over the summer, at the end of the summer, the city solicitor, Beth Renard, did meet with the taxi operators. They were interested in another rate increase and additional license allocation. She was still waiting to meet with the police department to see what their feelings were and to see if there was any additional draft language. So as of now, there is not any additional language in front of us, but there could be again if it's submitted by the city solicitor. Councillor Varela?
Thank you, Chair Riccardi. I'd like to see this matter be discharged, only to be possibly brought up next year. Thank you.
Councillor Varela moves to discharge, seconded by Councillor Presnewski. All those in favor? Thank you. The next one that we have is number 228, and I'm going to lump this in with number 229. These were amending traffic and parking commission powers and duties, co-posted with committee of the whole, and amending traffic chapter 42, delete in its entirety. These were both submitted by Councillor Watson-Felt in 2022, back in March. Councillor Cohen?
Move to discharge.
Councillor Cohen moves to discharge, seconded by Councillor Presnewski. All those in favor? Great. The next item that we have is number 103. This was another joint public hearing item, zoning visibility at intersections. Remember this one? Councillor Varela?
Thank you, Chair Riccardi. I'd like to see this matter be discharged.
Councillor Varela moves to discharge, seconded by Councillor Presnewski. All those in favor? Matter carries. Okay, two more. Number 462, ordinance to amend Green Lawn Cemetery, form of deed of sale for new lots. This was introduced over the summer by the Cemetery Commission, by myself, so and I will provide some insight. I've been working closely with Ray Jordan. There was a change in our cemetery superintendent, I believe is the title name. So I wanted to wait until I was able to have a conversation. Ray would like to speak to Ola on this item. It's a pretty simple edit. So I would, if there could be a motion to carry this matter forward. Councillor Presnewski?
I move this matter be carried over to next year.
Thank you. Councillor Presnewski moves to carry to next year, seconded by Councillor Varela. All those in favor? Matter carries. Okay, our last one, number 653, ordinance to amend an ordinance relative to pickup of large items. Actually, we discharged that one from committee last night, or Monday, so we're all set. Awesome. Great, okay. So the two items carrying forward to next year are number 598, discuss home business ordinance, and number 653, ordinance to amend the Green Lawn Cemetery form deed of sale. All others will be discharged from committee. Councillor Presnewski?
Motion to adjourn.
Councillor Presnewski moves to adjourn, seconded by Councillor Cohen. Before I take the vote on that, I would just like to also say thank you for a uber productive year. Right before, I had my little trusty tracker. We reviewed and discharged 26 items in OLA this year. We had 7 joint public hearings that came in for discussion in OLA. We were a ridiculously productive OLA council, and I thank the committee for all of their hard work, effort, for participation. I think everyone had really great attendance. I really appreciate that. It's not an easy ask, so thank you. Councillor Cohen?
I would also like to start a ovation for our OLA chair for doing such an amazing job. Incredibly organized and facilitated the meetings as good as anyone in history.
Teamwork makes the dream work. Okay, thanks. Awesome. Okay, Councillor Varela?
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. All those in favor? Awesome. We are adjourned. Thank you.